because this brings that to the doctor in real time. I'm looking at this, and it's going, February, March, April. All of us can look and see, well, that went up. The red line is telling me a reference range. Well, that's high. It's red. There's the result. If the doctor wanted to, they could hit a button and, I'm concerned about that high white blood cell count, fax it right to the oncologist without missing a beat there. Continuity of care record, I talked about it, but I wanted you to see it because, again, this is not something that is mandatory right this second, but it certainly is something that we as a company, if we want to promote the information exchange, we better have it done and ready. So we're very proactive. We're way ahead of the curve on that. Remote access to charts. This is just an example. This is my iPhone. I talked about it first thing, and it's one of the amazing things. I'm probably down to 1 minute, and that'll work, but I think of it like this all the time. I have been around doctors for 25 years, and they were always running around, and it's real important and all that. And when I turned 45, I started saying to myself, geez, my time is becoming more and more valuable. The time that I have to do things. Well, one thing that an EHR properly implemented, which is what MedEnt does on a regular basis, it frees up the doctor's time. It allows them to do different things. It allows them to do things remotely, which is a wonderful thing. But like this doctor has, that's me, but a triage, a new email, or maybe I want to look up a chart. Well, it's on an iPhone, for gosh sakes, and I can get that access from anywhere, really. Now, I'm going to skip over this, but I'm going to go kind of quick, I guess. Financial incentives. There's been a lot of talk about $17 billion, and that's pretty exciting. But I'm almost glad that they're saying, well, 12/31/09, because when we rush into things, we don't get everything standardized. Highmark delivered on their grant program, and it really made a change in the market. I give them kudos for turning around and putting that out there. We have a lot more practices who are implementing EMR because of Highmark. Medicare, the CMS demo, $58,000 per provider over 5 years. I don't know how that all pans out, but that's not chicken feed. That's a lot of money for a doctor's offices. Their overhead has continued to go up, and their reimbursements have gone down. And for the first time that I've ever remembered, they're getting some money to help them run their businesses, because they are businessmen. Medicare, 2% bonus for PQRI reporting. Well, you just can't do it on paper. It's almost impossible. But with MedEnt, it's very automatic. Same with the Medicare e-prescribing. And last but not least, I'm just going to tell this very, very quickly because it is a happy EMR story, and it's a true one. A doctor in Pennsylvania sent this to us, and it's the same gentleman who said, I've got dozens more. But basically, one of his patients who he'd been seeing for a long time, doesn't come in regularly, kind of like myself, probably like a lot of you. But this man came in, and he had an earache or clogged ears, and part of health maintenance, disease management, popped up and said, hey, you haven't had a PSA done, and it says in your history here that, there's a past cancer in the family. Okay, well, they did that. It came up 4.2, which isn't actually terribly high, but it's high enough for him to have sent him on, and in this case, it probably maybe saved or definitely lengthened this person's life. And I think that's a great thing. I appreciate your time, and thank you for listening to me.